are live. There we go. Just make sure we're doing all right. It's working. There we go. What's going on, guys? So we are doing a player analysis, focusing on this center back right here. I know the quality is not the best, but we're trying to, pinpoint certain moments, both in the attack, defense, transitional moments. They're playing 3-5-2. In possession, out of possession, they go into a 5-4-1, and you can easily see. You just get a moment here. So you could clearly see the 5 in the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the center back we're looking at, the lone striker up here, and it's just interesting to see how the red team tries to break them down, right? Let me see if I can. Give me a second here, guys. Let me see if I can. Let me bring that over here. Let's start YouTube. Maybe I can bring it here. There we go. All right, there we go. Just want to make sure I see you guys' chats. You know what I mean? It's been a while. I've been super busy. This whole month of July, going into this first week of August, I've been traveling, doing a lot of camps, training players in person, and now I finally got some time to be home. As you can see in the background, right now we gotta go somewhere else for the time being. So I'm just trying to get some content here. Let's see. So one thing you can see, you see how they're very patient, knocking the ball around, trying to get movement in, and I'm focusing on this player right here, center back. So there's moments here, for example, this 10 or 9 or 8, whoever's in this zone right here. If you're a center back, you can see that they are in the pocket of space. Your objective here is 2 things. You need to communicate to your midfielders and let them know to shift left or to shift right. You want to try and close down that passing lane. How do you close down that passing lane? You communicate. Now, not every time are your midfielders going to listen, or they're going to shift on time, or whatever the case may be. So in that moment, you need to make a decision as a center back. You need to be able to potentially read that pass. Right now it's not on, but sometimes it is on. Let's say this player is maybe a little bit more out wide, or they're stepping, or whatever the case is. And you need to be able to make a decision. Should I step and close down that player, not let them turn? Or should I hold my space? In this moment, you can see center back is ready to press. Center back is on their toes, ready to make that decision. It looks like if the ball were to get to that player, that center back close down the space immediately, wouldn't let him think. See how he's creeping up? Boom, it doesn't happen. Let's see what happens next. Okay. Here's another prime example. When you are we are going to zone defense. This is great. And I'm gonna close it down or stop it here in a second. Beautiful. So here, this is a great example. If my software can load. Such a small detail, guys. Ball goes wide. Ball is wide right now, right? So since ball is wide, you, as that center back, need to close the gap. Right here. This is my back three. Okay. These are my three center backs. And what I'm looking for in these moments is for those three center backs to stay connected. That's exactly what happens here. Because there's two players at my center back that I'm looking at has to be aware of. And then this runner, this player is trying to make a run into that space. And you as that center back need to be able to cut that off, right? Just like here. Run with that player because that pass may be dangerous if it gets through. So I love how this center back, how they followed that runner. That option wasn't there. And most of the times, like those passing options may not happen. But you, as a center back, need to be able to read those moments. Gomez, thank you for joining the stream. It's been a really busy summer. I'm so glad to be back. It's been a while. I need to get back into my routine again, man. So yeah, we see that. Oh no, that's not what we wanted to do. We're on this mark. Let's watch second half. Same thing. We're looking at this player, left-sided center back line of three. You can easily see how out of possession they go into a back line of five. So here's another prime example. Build up. It's great defending. So here's an example. A lot of times I have center backs asking me, what do I do when I'm under pressure? Well, there's multiple things that you can do. So, for example, watch here. We're looking at the red team. Here, we have 1, 2, 3. Boom. Let's make this a little smaller. And then we got 1, 2, 3. Boom. We make it a little bit smaller. So in this situation, we have a 3v3. Ideally, we would try to find this lone 6. However, that passing option is not available in that moment. If you play this player, they have enough space to turn and potentially play out wide, which is not a bad option. But you also have this option, which he does fantastic, is put it on your dominant foot and find that wide player. So your job as a center back, if you can identify when we're being pressed, we're being man marked, can we find those wide players? Because right now, they can restart, they can play here, but as you can see, they're kind of pressing together. So he's closing down this space. This player, attacking player, needs to make a decision. This attacking player needs to make a decision whether to continue that press with the other center back or to cover that pass in the middle. Because another option could be splits that pass and they're out. This long ball is a little bit harder, but you as a center back need to be able to make those switch of play, those long ball distribution. You can tell the composure from this player. Plays him over, flick on, and now we've now progressed from the defensive third forward, right? Let's do drawings. I'm not gonna use this because it's not my player. I am gonna defensive tackle. It is a great tackle though. Look. You can see how my player, and that's what I want to talk about here. That wide player steps out. This is the player I'm looking at. Great tackle. Great anticipation. We're gonna, let me just make this a little longer. This is the software, the best software I can use. Wins back possession and then finds his teammate, and now they're out. Amazing. Great couple action. Harrington Victor, how do I analyze a football match if I pay you? We can do it two ways, man. I have the option on my website, grandesportstraining.com, and we can do either I send you clips of your match, or we do clips and video calls. So we would go over it together. So I would chop up your game, your match, just like you're watching right now. I would try to pick out the best attacking actions, defending actions, the best and the worst, depending on your position, understanding what type of player you are, what you did correctly, what you did incorrectly, the decisions you made, how we can fix that. And then after that, I would have a whole library of clips that we would go over together. So you can purchase it on my website, or just shoot me an email and we can figure that out. grandesportstraining@gmail.com. Let me actually type it in the grandesportstraining@gmail.com. There we go. Typed it in the chat. Love how he gets out. Those little transitions too, guys. If you're a center back, and I'm going to move this transition. This is such a tiny detail, and it's something that I always tell every single center back that I work with. So right now the ball is out wide. Ball is out wide. Just went out of bounds here. Our back line is low. Fantastic, because I think the ball was out wide with a winger. After the ball gets played backwards, watch how everybody pushes up. And that split second is exactly what I am looking for. I need every single player from the back line to get out quickly. When every single player in the back line gets out quickly, we now can push the team out. We don't leave anybody onside. Any potential pass going into those zones are not going to be on anymore. So that is something we need to be aware of as a center back. Ball got played backwards. Ball is out here now. And you as a center back need to push out your line. And when I mean transition quick, Transition forward quick. Get out. Not on the jog. It's a fast jog. Like I'm getting out. Boom. As a center back, I need to push out my line. So that is one very important detail that I always look for. I think he did a fantastic job to get out. He's with the line now. I want to see what happens next. Let me just forward it a little bit. See, perfect. Do you have Telegram? I do not have Telegram. No. You can also message me on Instagram and we could figure it out together. If that works. I should start a Telegram though, huh? But see, you can see how everybody pushes out. Now the lines. And what I mean by lines, the defensive line, midfield line, attacking line, they're all compact. And that is super important. And that all starts from the back line. The center backs are the ones that push out everybody so that they're not in our zone. Fantastic job here. Ball gets switched. Let's see what happens. Yeah, the blue team is super disciplined here, huh? Look how they're moving together. Zonally. Offside. Everybody was on the same line. Here's a build-out situation. Under pressure, let's see what he does. Wow, well done. Well done. So one thing I will say, and he's done this multiple times. So this isn't wrong. This is just a little detail that I'm seeing. Okay. Right here, look. He doesn't open his hips all the way sometimes. I feel like he has enough space in that moment to open up his hips and play. Right here. Quickly. It looks like it. Now this is something that I would get on a call with him, and I just want to understand what his vision is in that moment, like what he sees, because he's done this multiple times in the game where he doesn't open the hips. Was it on? Did he see it? Did he feel that? Because not once does he open his hips here. He is a big guy. He's like 6'4", 6'5". So maybe he doesn't feel comfortable in that moment, but that's something that I would discuss with him. Just because if he can do that, quick control and out. And look at all the space that his player has here. This ball is kind of dangerous too. Because now we're going to get out. He stays inside. Goalkeeper is really, really good with his feet. Midfielder does excellent to turn in here. But see, all those steps would have been avoided if this center back passes slightly in front of him, so yeah, maybe it wasn't on. Let's see, but I've already seen it a couple times. And he has a great switch. I think that's one of his strengths, is switching play. Wide, showing an angle, excellent. Okay, see? There's another moment, watch. There is another moment. Look. I'm gonna build up. Does an excellent job of showing. Drops back for his goalkeeper. This is excellent. Receives, turns, looks to play forward. It's okay. Much rather him do this though. Looks so much better. Because in a back line of 3, I'll say, if you guys have been following me since the beginning, in a back line of 3, we need the 3 center backs to occupy the vertical lanes. Half space, central space, half space. And that's exactly what's going on here. Why? Because now the wide player, the wing back, has the ability to push forward. We have the ability to get numbers up. See? They're up. Look what happens next. Center back has no options, plays back to keeper. Our left-sided center back is now dropping off to be an option. Has enough space to turn there. Turns really well. I think maybe a pass here would have been better. I'd say when he drops back prior to receiving the ball, he needs to be facing up the pitch, especially with time and space. He has to have the ball way too close off, so he probably did. Michael, I agree. I don't know if you're talking about the clip before this one. His body should be fully open when the keeper has the ball and he's in position. I agree. And this is, I've shown you 2 clips, but from the first half before, he's done the same exact thing. So these little details is shows himself available, but look. See how it's, yeah. I think this pass could be played quickly there. Yeah. I think this pass could have been played quickly there. He turned well. I think this pass was 100% on. And I don't know why he tries to take him on here. Just making my notes. Takes a split second. That's the biggest difference. It's pretty cool, Michael. So this player plays in Qatar, and they are, I think, the 9th of August, if I'm not mistaken, is the first game of the season. And guess who he has to face up? Guess who the striker is on that team? Joselu from Real Madrid. So he's like, man, we need to go over these matches together. This is still preseason. That could also be an option, yeah. Let's see if we can find another moment. Harrington Victor, I would like to know where I can get football statistics. So there's this website called Y-Scout, WYScout.com. You do have to pay a yearly membership. I think there's a 30-day free trial. But you can literally get every single statistic, video clip from any player in the world that plays professionally. And it's a tool that all the professional clubs use. It's amazing. I used it for a little bit. However, I don't work for a professional club. I just work individually with players. But I 100% recommend if you're trying to get statistics and clips. So just how I'm cutting it up. Okay, let's see what he does here. Open your hips. Come on, son. Yeah, see? You see that, guys? Another moment. Doesn't open his hips. And that's something that 100% I want to talk to him about. This could be maybe instructions. I don't know. See, now they go backwards, and now that allows the opponents to push up. Yeah, Mike, it's gonna be a tough one, but look, let's see it again. Watch. Ball's getting circulated back. CB creates the angle. Look, close body positioning. Oh, it's kind of blurry. Oh. And that's what we're going to talk about. Closed body shape. Closed body shape. Because look, if he plays out wide, he has a 2v1 here. Make this a different color. Let's make it yellow. Make this smaller. If he can open his body shape, if he opens his body shape after receiving from that center back, he could play wide quickly, creates a 2v1 situation out wide. Because like I said at the beginning, they are playing 3 center backs in possession. Out of possession, this wing back drops in, so they're playing a 5-4-1. Yeah, they are in possession. They are playing either they fluctuate between a 3-4-3, 3-5-2. Majority of the time, they have their 3 attacking players inside in the vertical lanes, half space, central space, half space. Both wide players are wide. This creates all the width for them, and this pass, I've already seen it multiple times. And you guys that's been on the stream so far, you've seen it at least 3 times in this second half, and it's only been like 4 or 5 minutes into the second half. Playing to underloaded. 100%, Michael, you see it. See, so now that pass backwards allows the red team to get out. And then we lose possession there. That's the problem. That's the problem that's the little problem I'm having right now. I want him to be more open hips, trust his left foot and play. Let's see another moment. Man, it's been a while since I've been on stream. I didn't think anybody would join, but I'm having a great conversation with you guys. See, look. I think here he needs to be a little wider. But look, that wide ball is always on. This is a great ball from that center back. He's offside, but it's okay. But that ball right there, that width, that wide player is always on. I need to clip up these moments and then I'm gonna fix it. Alright, he steps out to tackle. Yeah, straight tackle. I think that this is one of his strengths. His ability to close down space is really good. His anticipation is really good. He's able to read those movements. After this, I need to get clips of Joselu to see what he does. I've obviously watched Real Madrid games, but you know, I'm watching the whole game. I'm not really watching his movements, so I'm gonna try to find some clips of what movements, what type of player he is, what he likes doing. So these are transitional moments. Good defending. By the way, guys, the blue team is up 1-0. They scored in the first half. So they've done really well of staying compact defensively, not letting any penetrating balls go through the middle. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on. Nothing. See if this you got everybody dropping back to defend. Look where the red team's defensive line is. They're up high. He's all alone on the counter. What's he gonna do? Not really much he can do. Good decision. Good decision to keep the ball. Yup. They regroup, restructure themselves. Play wide, play wide. You guys see that, right? Again, another moment. This wide player in this second half has been a threat just by maintaining the width. Second time ball gets played over, second time that the ball is able to progress forward. And look, a chance came from this. No PK. But you can see that. So now that is something that I want to point out with this player, when the center back, when we get on a call, is this wide player has been on every single time, which is why I need you to open up your hips. I need you to be able to receive that ball under pressure and play two touch, control play out wide, because that player receives out wide, he's creating either a 2v1 situation or he's creating the space to just dribble forward. Those two simple actions. Here he has space, he does this, he can do this. When he has space, he can play forward. That's a great ball, a little dangerous. Let's go through that clip. Breaking line pass, where is it? There we go. Could he have done something different? See, that ball is risky, man. That ball is extremely risky. But you your midfielders, right? If you're a center back and you play those balls, you know whether they're going to be able to control it or not. If they're okay and comfortable under pressure. That ball is risky though, in my opinion, because it's not going forward. It's going more diagonal. So I'm not going towards goal. I'm going more diagonal, more sideways. And I'm not really being a threat with that pass, in my opinion. Let's see if we have another moment. John closing down. Let's see another build-out situation. Wow, they got out really well. Oh, too much. Too much there. See another great tackle here. Called a foul? I don't know about that one, Chief. I don't think that was a foul. Oh, my friend. Why is it so slow today, man? Let's see. I don't think that was a foul. Maybe a slight push on the back that we couldn't see. Either way, those little details, like I'm looking at the game from this side, and I can see that. I mean, he's going to the sideline. He's going to the corner flag. He's not facing my goal. So there's no really those moments as a defender, center back, fullback, whatever you're playing. In those moments, you don't need to push. I don't think he pushed. That was a soft call, in my opinion. But again, on video and in person, when you're down there, it looks somewhat different. Yeah, see those little. Good recovery there. That's a great header out. Fantastic header out. That's a foul. Yeah, see, you guys can see how big he is, huh? He's like a 6'4", 6'5" center back. Huge guy. Good job following the runner. That's what I'm looking for here. Yep. Following the runner there. That's excellent. I'll tell you why right now. So, as a center back, let me pull it up. As a center back, these diagonal runs from strikers. Hold on, let me pause it. As a center back, these diagonal runs from strikers will always happen. Boom. These diagonal runs are always going to happen. Now, when we talk about to a striker, strikers, when do you make these diagonal runs? Is when your player on the ball, they are facing you. They are ready to make a pass that could potentially create danger, right? So you as a center back need to be able to read two things. One, is the player on the ball facing my goal? If the player on the ball is facing my goal, number two, I need to be aware of any potential threats in my zone. And right now, this striker is a potential threat. Second thing, this center back is facing the player with the ball. This center back is facing the player with the ball and the striker that's making the run. So you, as this center back, need to be aware that this striker making the run right now is the most dangerous player right now, in this moment. So if there was a player here or behind, they are not dangerous in that moment. That is their problem or their objective to mark. Your job in this moment is, you see the player facing my goal, you see the striker making the run, I need to follow that striker and I need to be with that player just like they did here. So this was excellent for two reasons. One, center back here is on the goal side following that striker, so if that ball does beat that first center back, my second center back marked in red can close the player down and make that tackle. First center back did a fantastic job of clearing that ball or getting a touch on it. That's a great interception. Now that moment is no longer on. But before that action, I really want to point out those two things. So next time as a center back, this is usually where center backs get beat. This is usually where chances are created, when for a split second we hesitate and we don't follow the runner. Another thing we can do is try to get him off sides, but right now our whole defensive line is dropping off, so getting them offside I don't think is the correct decision in that moment. So that's why I wanted to point that out. I think it's fantastic. Fantastic anticipation and reading of the play. That is one thing that my center back here that we're looking at has. Really good at it. Let's see. Here's another clip here. Beautiful. Let's see what we do next. Okay. Let's clip this. Here's another moment, guys. This is something else that occurs plenty of times. Ball gets played out wide. Ball gets played out wide, and right now we have a 1v1 situation, right? So you as a center back are shifting over. This is you. As a center back, you're shifting over. But there's a player right there that is also a threat. So this now turns into a 2v1 situation. Look what this center back does. Center back drops off to be the support of his teammate. Boom. So you as a wingback, you as a center back, ball gets played out wide. I'm going to step, pressure, cover, pressure, cover. That's what we're always looking for. Because this is in the second half. So I also know as a defender what type of winger I'm going up against. Is this winger going to consistently try to take this player on? Has he been cutting down the line and whipping it across? Has he been a threat out wide consistently throughout the match? If he has, then I need to make that decision to cover. And this is exactly what he does here. There's a midfielder dropping off. Look what happens next. He's covering the space. This player is now out. This player is not a threat at all. If they were staying in here, yes, they would be a threat. But they moved out, they are not a threat no more. They try to play that ball through, does a fantastic job to intercept in there. First action does what he's supposed to do as a defender. This next action, he finds that ball through. Now, I don't see any other options that he had. Maybe this short pass into space as midfielder would have been a little bit better. That ball across is risky, and that's something that I definitely will touch on. But little details like that, guys. Little details like that. I love how he made the decision to cover the space rather than stay with the player. Space behind is more dangerous in that area than the player receiving in front of me. Because I don't want a ball getting played over on the blind side. On my blind side, and then I don't see anything, and then boom, striker making that diagonal run, and now we're in trouble. Oh, that is a risky pass. Great defensive tackle here. See what happens next. See another moment. I don't know why my frames for a second is so low today. Should be a little faster, huh? Yeah, it's super slow today. Let me see how that goal happened. That's unlucky. It's a great cross. It's this number 17 guy again, you see? So his thing has been whipping in crosses. That's how they scored. So now it's 1-1. He loves those long balls, man. He loves those long balls. But he does them really well. Like, he has the strength to play those long balls really well. What did they get? They drew a foul there too, look. He's here. Back post. Let's see what you do here, dude. Water break. It's not a foul, ref. Great communication. Individual action. So, as a center back, one key thing that stands out, one very small key thing that stands out as a center back is this right here. It's such a small detail, but you, as a center back, need to be able to communicate effectively to your teammates. And this, I can't hear what they're saying, but I can tell that they are directing their teammates. Body language is telling me they're telling their teammates where to go, where to shift into. They're loud, they're communicating, they have presence. That is super important as a center back. If you are not talking to your teammates, if you are just saying, hey, shift right, shift left, they're not going to listen to you. You need to tell them exactly what to do with loud voice, with clear instructions, and clear understanding of what is your current situation and why you need those teammates to go over. But that all will work when you have the body language and you're communicating really loud with your teammates. This is what I like to call presence, guys. You, as a center back, you need to have presence. He's yelling. I don't know what he's saying. Pushing them out. Covering the passing lane, whatever the case may be. Maybe he's talking to somebody else. Whoever, doesn't matter. He's directing. You as center back need to continuously direct. Tell your teammates what to do, where to move. Because you see the whole field. Let's see another moment. Another build-out situation. Good. Close the space down. I'm gonna clip that. That's excellent here. Ball gets played on the weak side. Close down the space. You literally move from out wide to try and receive that ball to central space to close it down. You weren't involved in the play, but now I need to close the space in case we lose possession. Great save. Same thing again. He's out wide to be an option. Ball gets played the opposite way. Literally goes straight into that central space. Ball gets played over again. Did you also see the transition of which they were back here and they pushed forward? Okay, so remember earlier, where is it? Individual action. Yes, individual action. So I always tell the 10, the striker, the winger, whoever may be in that half space, right? Your job is to try and start between lines. Majority of times the 10. The 10 needs to try to start between lines. What do I mean by start between lines? You are between the defensive line and the midfield line. You're in that space. Now, when you are in that space, what happens is you're forcing players around you to make a decision. The opponents to make a decision. In this situation, this player needs to make a decision whether to stay on this midfielder or whether to drop back. However, in this moment, it's a little bit too late. So now my center back needs to make a decision. Should I step out or should I stay? if this player receives in this space, it's going to be dangerous. They can turn and dribble at our back line. And that is something we're trying to avoid. So once this ball gets played through, this is a good decision by the center back to break that line. Blue team center back does an excellent job of anticipating. They're already moving to block off that option. Doesn't win possession, but doesn't give them space to turn either. This is excellent. Now you as a center back, when you close down that space, you don't let that number 10 make a decision to turn. The opposite side center back here, sorry guys, this center back needs to also be aware that his partner has stepped out. So what could potentially happen in this moment is this striker can make that diagonal run in, and there could be a quick boom, boom. These are the plays that you have to kind of picture in your mind that could potentially happen. The chances of it happening maybe in this split second is not going to happen just because the player on the ball has their back turned, but he did try to play that one touch, and now if he receives here, it's a 2 versus 1. They can also split that that ball to that striker making the diagonal run. So you as a center back right here need to be aware of that. So now I need to stay with the player. Nothing happens, bad pass, dead. Play is dead. But there's so many scenarios that could potentially happen. Like here, again, another situation, right? He does it, boom, resets. Literally 2 seconds later, they turn, wins a tackle. Oh no, he called a foul. So here's another, the exact same situation happened, not even 5 seconds later. Literally a second later. The 10 receives in the pocket of space. And for everybody that has been following me for a while, this is where the 10 should always look to receive in between, in between these 4 players. That player right there. If you're a 10, looking to receive an 8, looking to receive in those pockets of space. Why? Because you're causing indecision in these 4 players. Center back, fullback, center mid, winger. Who picks you up? Nobody knows. That split second that they're communicating, you get the ball. You have the chance to turn. And now we can attack the back line. We can try to do something in those moments. Now, I think what this player could have done is instead of cutting inside, going wide. Because we have 2 players here. We can maybe create like a 3v2 out wide. He cuts in, he draws a foul. Okay, no worries. Now I want to pick out my center back. Doesn't step in this moment. Hesitates. Lets him turn. He was also maybe a few yards away. Probably wasn't the best decision in that moment. Could have he? I think yes. I think he could have done exactly what he did here in this previous clip. Like this. Why does he step out here but not in the next clip? See that? Steps out here, doesn't let them go. Here he doesn't step. I mean, he did receive a little deeper. He was closer to the midfielders. Maybe he communicated to the midfield. I don't know. That is something that I would like to discuss and just try to see their thought process in that moment. But for everybody watching, these are the small details, everybody. These are the small details that we're looking for. This is things that you don't even think about when you're in the matches. You don't think about when you're in the matches. These are just things that happen second nature. Sometimes you're thinking, should I step? Should I stay? I don't know. You might not know what to do in those moments, right? Depends obviously at the level you're playing at, the age, how you think, how you've been taught. Are you playing more conservative? Are you playing more aggressive to close down those spaces? So many different factors that come into play. See, the second half, the red team has been pressuring, pushing numbers up, keeping possession really well. Great tackle. Blue ball. Oh, that's a dangerous ball down there. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5v5 here. He wanted to play that switch one time. This to me is another risky pass. He's already done like 3 or 4 risky passes like that. One of them might not get through. And in that one, now they have us on a counterattack. Good. Not a threat. Doesn't follow him. Covers the space. Excellent job. Stays compact with his other center backs. It's exactly what we're looking for. No immediate threat. Team is compact in a 5-4-1. Great closing down from that center back. See another build out situation. Doesn't receive the ball, right away goes into the central space again. So I want to clip that again. This is something he's doing really well. Doesn't receive the ball, we lose possession, right away goes to close down that space. Yeah, man, it's a lot of little details, guys. A lot of little details. That's why it's important to rewatch your matches. The more that you rewatch your matches, the more you're gonna be able to notice these small details. What you're doing correctly, what you're doing incorrectly, what you need to do more of, and why you need to do it. These little moments is exactly why. Good switch. Dude can't get out, man. Exactly what I'm looking for. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Can we open up our hips and play wide? It's been on majority of the game. And we need to try and exploit that. Yeah, we just got to clear that in that moment. Not really much we can do in that moment. You know what I mean? Try to keep the ball there is probably not the best decision. Back pass back. Woo! Great tackle. Hold it up, striker. Play him. Well done holding it up, but that's a foul, ref. Yes. Great interception. Where is that? Defending actions. So this is another moment. So as a center back, now two things that you need to realize. Again, this is another moment as a center back. If the player on the ball is facing my goal up, most likely the striker or the 10 or whichever attacking player is in this space is going to be making a diagonal run. Boom. And majority of the times, they're going to be making it on your blind side. So that is why it's very important as a center back, like here, to not only see where the ball is, but also see where the striker is. So you need to be aware of which attacking player is in your direct zone. When you are aware of that, you can also begin to make that diagonal run so that you can cut off that pass. If you are the near side center back, you're going to be on the front side of the striker. You're going to look to try and intercept. You're going to look to try and eliminate that pass. If you are on the back side of the striker, you are going to look to cover in case my center back teammate makes a mistake. So exactly what happens here. Striker's making that diagonal run. If that ball was a little bit more forward, what happens? Maybe that front striker or that front center back doesn't really intercept that pass, and then now we're in trouble. But in this scenario, this center back does a fantastic job intercepting. He has immediate pressure, covers the ball really well. Next action gets out. So that is what I'm looking for in center backs. Are you able to anticipate and read those plays? Are you able to understand when the player on the ball, whether it's a midfielder, a fullback, if they have space and they're facing your goal, most likely movement from the striker, movement from the 10 is going to happen. And when that movement happens, you need to be able to anticipate what could potentially go down. Is it a diagonal run? Is it a check-in? Is it a check-off? What could happen? I play as a left CB in a 3-4-2-1 formation. Any tips to improve on that formation, on that position? Yeah, man. So we are actually watching the left-sided center back right now, and they are playing in a 3-4-3, or kind of similar to that formation when they are in possession. We're almost done with this analysis, but I do want you to see a couple things. So when they are out of possession, they go into a 5-1-3-1 or a 5-4-1. It's been a variation of the two. Now your objective here out of possession is to always stay compact with your center 3. You're trying to occupy the vertical lanes, half space, central space, half space. Those 3 areas. The middle is where we're trying to occupy. As you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 players in the middle. They can have it out wide. When the ball does go out wide, your wingback is the one that's supposed to step out. That's a great ball in. Oof. Your wingback needs to step out. So you as that center back need to push him out. And look how they build out. So this is the left-sided center back. Look how they build out. That's a great ball, man. So it's happened plenty of times, right? Where he doesn't really have options here. Maybe that long ball is the best option in that moment. They are beginning to press high. They got 3 front 5. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 4, 1, 3, 2. When they're pressing, this pass out wide is most likely not the best option. There should be a center mid in here to create that numerical advantage. He does not have that numerical advantage, so he decides to play long. So in these moments, when you see that, it's okay to play long. Can we find the striker? Can we find the winger? Can we find their chest, their head, whatever the case may be? There was a movement happening here as well. And remember, all this happens in a matter of seconds. So that's a great tackle. So you need to be able to anticipate that and read that right away, like this. Oof. Like that ball got played through. It went in, covering the central space. 3v2, no need to step out. They call a foul. That's unlucky. Okay, get it out, get it out. So this is a 1-1. It's 1-1 so far in this match. I will say, I don't know how to pronounce your name, Kay, but I will say one of the most important things in that formation is understanding if I am receiving from my center back and you're the left side, can we turn our hips and look to play wide? Because majority of the times, the wide player is going to be open. So we need to be composed under pressure and sharp enough to open our hips and play wide quickly. We've seen it plenty of times already in the stream where the center back that I'm looking at has not been able to open their hips and play wide. And there's been times where if he does that, that wide player can now create a 2v1 situation out wide. Close on that space, excellent. Here's another build out situation. Ball now gets played on the opposite side. They push up and close that space down. Game's opening up just a little bit more now, huh? You see it? Keep moving it, keep moving it, keep moving it. Keeper, good. So that's also really important. That's a super important detail. Ball gets played backwards. Center back has their back to their goal, or to the striker. They play back to the goalkeeper. You, as the other center back, need to make yourself available as quick as possible. Keeper was under pressure, decided the best decision was to kick it out. Okay? But you still, as a center back, need to move and make yourself available. Oh, that's a great idea. Another switch of play, does that really well. See, this is what I'm saying. And this is what I want to. Makes himself available. Immediate turns of hips. Plays wide. Now we have a chance to progress forward there. So let's clip that. Let's talk about it real quick. If you are a center back playing in a back three, immediately you need to make yourself available. Not only in a back three, but if you are a center back, immediately you need to make yourself available for your goalkeeper. You need to be able to provide that angle right away. Why? Because in these moments, when you provide that angle, you can help your team get out. So if he would have stayed here and not dropped off to be that angle, this pass cannot happen. He's also creating space between himself and that attacking player. When he receives, first touch is forward. First touch is with open body shape. Now this next pass, this next action, to play wide right away and not think and not be like, oh, where should I play? No, right away. Right away to play wide, because this player has all the space in the world. Now we're out. We're out of that initial pressure. Now this player is able to create a chance. There's two options this player could have done. One, play down the line, or two, play to a striker just how they did. I think it would have been better to play on the ground, but it's okay. But see, you as a center back need to be able to create the angle. Once you create the angle, do we have space? If we have space, my first touch needs to be in front of me so that I can play that next ball forward. And when I play that next ball forward, now we can progress into the midfield and try to do something in that moment. But see, a lot of times what I notice is the center backs, they're too slow when they're rotating their hips, or they don't find that pass right away, or they take a split second to make that pass. Everything is done. If you don't make that pass in the right, correct moment, that moment is done. It's not on anymore. That game is done here. Alright, so yeah, game is done. So now what I will do next is I'm going to go through all the clips that I wanted to go through. I'm going to make my notes, anything that is important, and maybe some clips that I don't really need. And then we're going to get on a call with this player. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. As a center back, I hope you learned something. It's really important to rewatch your matches and find these little details in your game. This is important because when people are watching you from the outside, we notice these things. And we notice if you're doing the correct movement or the correct decisions as a center back, like in this example. And if you are, we'll be like, yes, this center back knows what they're doing. Or if you're not, this center back needs work. So these are little details. This center back he's done fantastic this game. I think there's small details that we can tweak that he can improve going into the next game. I can already tell you that his strongest attributes are playing those long ball switches. He's really well. He reads the game really well. He can anticipate the game really well. On top of that, he's strong in his tackles. He has a presence because he communicates a lot with his teammates. He directs his teammates in front of him. I can't hear what they're saying, but I can just tell by the body language. Not to mention that this guy's huge, 6'4", 6'5". So these little details. But if you don't rewatch your games, you're not going to be able to notice these little details. So hope you guys enjoyed today's stream. We're going to be back again soon, hopefully. And I will keep you updated. Follow me on Instagram just to stay updated with everything that we do. And yeah, this stream will be uploaded, I think, right away, and you can rewatch it. Talk to you guys soon.